It's not your fault. It's not your fault, Wally. How can you say it's not my fault? I'm a responsible person. I'm a responsible individual. I do what I'm supposed to do, when I'm supposed to do, how I'm supposed to do. Yeah, been there. But the outcomes that you're getting right now are not in alignment with what you really want, and subsequently you've been beating yourself up over that. But it's not your fault. It's not your fault. Wally, what are you talking about? Check this out. You want to know why your money sucks? Want to know why you suck at budgeting? Want to know why you don't know the difference between assets and liabilities? You want to know why you settle for instant gratification instead of waiting for a delayed investment? You want to know why? I'll tell you why. Because you were never taught that. You were never taught that. And your parents were never taught that. And because your parents were never taught that, you were never shown that. And so because the generations before you were never taught that, they could never show you that, so you couldn't implement it. That's why you are where you are. Because you don't know about money. You don't know how money works. Wally, how can you say that? Because I was the same way. I'm the same way. Look, listen. If you had the amount of money that you wanted to have, you wouldn't even be watching this video, or you'd have been clicked off it by now, but you still paying attention, because there's a party that's like, he's right. I'm always right. You got to understand that. I'm always right. Anyways, there's a part of you that understands that your mom and dad are struggling, and you are struggling. If your mom and dad are old and they don't have any money, and you learn all your financial education from them, what's going to happen to you? You're going to be older with no money. You're going to be having to taught your children some bad financial education. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. The school system didn't teach you about money. They didn't want to teach you about money. Because if they taught you about money, they would teach you the value in being an entrepreneur instead of the value in sitting down and being a good little worker. How do we know that's what they want? Because they want you to sit down and be a good little student. Like that doesn't add up. That doesn't add up. Like, I listen to what they're mad about at my son's school, and like, when the kids don't sit down and pay attention, they have to sacrifice recess. And it's like, they're trying to get up and run, and you take away the one thing that allows them to get up and run. Well, no wonder they have problems for the rest of the afternoon. You know, if you think about it, every other institution that we subscribe to has changed dramatically, and for the good, we'll just say over the last 50 years. Check this out. The school system, your classroom, is like the only style of anything that has not significantly changed over the last 50 years. Yet you're going to tell me it still works? You wouldn't even carry around the same cell phone that you had 10 years ago. You wouldn't even use the same internet connection you had 10 years ago. It's a lot of you who wouldn't even drive the same car you were driving 10 years ago. So why in the hell are we telling our children, our high school graduates, our college graduates, that this educational system, the same educational system they've been using since we came to this country, is benefiting and working? On top of the fact, you, like me, are a graduate of this educational system, and you have found that it doesn't work. I'm not the only one out there like this. Look, I'm not the only one who did it the right way and found out it doesn't work. Wally, what are you talking about? Growing up, was a great kid. Great kid. I got my fair share with him. Was a great kid. Went to high school, straight A's. Went to college, mostly straight A's. Got a degree, got a post degree, and started working. And so now it's like, I'm stuck in the rat race. This is not the life that I want to be living. I don't have the time to do the stuff that I want to do. I can't go and come the way that I want to, but I did it the way that I was supposed to do it. Like, are you serious? Go back to what I said when I first started. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. You were told and you were taught, if you do it like this, it will work for you. The generations that came before us, they did the best they could with what they had. That's all that they knew. That's all that they knew. Go to college, get a good job, stay on at a good job. They'll pay you a pension. You'll be able to retire, and life will be great. That does not work anymore. And we know that that doesn't work anymore. Why aren't we telling people, hey, that does not work anymore? Why aren't we preparing our children to help them understand that the way that you're being educated isn't the way that everybody else in every other country is being educated, and they're lapping us educationally? Why aren't we telling our children this? Why are we disserving people, allowing them to continue to perpetuate a concept that we know does not work? Water under the bridge, neither here nor there. Check this out. You can break that. You can break all of the associated curses of whatever it is I'm talking about. It's not a curse, it's just ignorance. I'm going to break the financial wealth curse that's on my family. It's not a financial wealth curse, baby. It's ignorance. Why are you calling me ignorant? Ignorance is just not knowing. And so you're ignorant for not knowing what the definition of ignorance was, and then you're ignorant for not knowing the way that money works. But it's okay, because I already fixed your ignorance on knowing what the definition of ignorance was, and I can help you fix your own personal economic situation. You can learn the rules about money. You can. Wally, how can I learn the rules about money? You just got to ask the right people. You just have to ask the right people. Okay, check this out. I'm not going to sugarcoat nothing. I'm not going to keep anything from you. I want to be perfectly transparent, so when you go to my website and you get to scrolling through, you see all the information for my econ. It's short for my economy, because if we have a national economy, you have to run your own personal economy. If you have never been instructed and taught on how to run your own personal economy, guess what? You're probably just like the United States and in debt. Oh, that was good. Except high five. You're probably in debt because it's like that was the way that you were taught that, you know, things are supposed to operate. You can't afford it. Hey, baby, go get you a little credit card and just pay it off little bit by little bit. But nobody ever told you that if you pay the least amount that you could pay on that, it's probably going to take you like 5 to 10 years to actually pay that off. And when you do actually pay it off, you will have probably bought the item about 5 or 6 times. And so nobody helped you understand that credit is actually something you give for something you really can't afford. And if you really can't afford, you really don't need it. Like, if nobody has taught you that, if nobody has told you that, you don't know how to live by that. But guess what? Guess what? Wally just told you. Wally just told you. So in the beginning, when I said it's not your fault, I was right. I told you I'm always right. I was right. You were only doing what you were taught to do, what you've been led to do, what others knew to do to teach you. But now you have a different piece of information. Now you know the way that you've been managing your money has not been the right way. There are products and services to help me better manage my money. You are now responsible for better managing your money. You know that you weren't taught financial education in school. You are now charged with gaining financial information from somewhere. You can get it from me, that's fine. You don't have to get it from me, that's fine too. But what do I want? I want you to teach your children that they need to have more assets instead of liabilities. And I want you to be able to teach your children that their shoes, that their car, that their rims, all of those things depreciate. But here, baby, these are places where we need to take and put our money, because if we take and we put our money here, it's going to give us a return on our investment. If we get us a return on our investment, baby, you won't have to work as hard as mommy and daddy did. I don't know about you, but that's the only reason I do what I do. The only reason I get up and I go to work is so my kids don't have to hustle and sweat and cry the same way I do. And that's more than likely the same reason why you get up, why you go to your job. All I'm saying is, if you get up and you go to that job and you work that hard for somebody else, imagine the outcomes you could have in 4, 5, 6, potentially 10 years if you applied that effort on yourself. Imagine what it would be like 10, 15 years from now if you started fixing your finances now. Stop feeding me it's too late. I don't know. It's never too late. It's never too late. It's only too late if you keep the same trajectory. But if you decide to make things different, as long as you got a piece of education about what direction it is you're trying to go in, it's never too late. It's never too late. All you got to decide is, I want differently and I'm going to have differently. And then you go get it. When I first started talking, I told you, it's not your fault. It's not your fault that you're in a situation, a predicament financially, and that you are. But now, beyond this moment, If you have watched me up until this point, beyond this moment, if you don't fix your money from now on, it is your fault. It is your fault. You know why it's your fault? Because I told you. I told you that the path you're on isn't working. You knew that. The people that came before you knew that. The people that you stay around, they knew that. And I'm telling you, you need to do something different. I'm also telling you that I got the plan. And if you want the plan, either drop in the comments, Wally, I need this information, or you can message me so that we can start talking about some of this stuff. We don't talk about this stuff enough. Somebody needs to tell you, baby, it's not your fault. You were doing the best you could with what you got. And I understand that. But now, baby, you got some new information. And because you got new information, you got to do things different. That was a lot on a Friday. That was a lot on a Friday. And I hope that you've been picking up what I'm putting down. At the minimum, I hope that you will just understand the fact that what you think you know about money, it's not really right. How do we know this? Just look around. Just look around. There are ways for you to learn how to improve your personal economy. If you need more information, just drop it in the comment section. Wally, I need more information. If you want to get started with my econ, or if you just want to watch an informational video about what all of this good stuff I'm talking about, hit me up and I'll get it to you. But the thing is, if you want things to be different, you have to do things differently. And when does it start? Right now.